Yo, what's up? What's up?
Hey,
I'm
Alex.
back and ready to
Good.
go.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Alex, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Awesome.
And you?
I'm doing good, Alex. So, Alex, your debut full-length album, Hit It, was out on September 5th. So, would you like to tell me a bit on the songwriting process and the production that goes behind this new album?
Yeah, like what was interesting for this record is that it was quite different from the songs we have worked on before, just because
Mm,
before that, Felix, our guitarist, like he would just do, yeah, he would just like write the songs instrumentally. Um, also leave some space for, drums and bass, stuff like that. And then what I would like do would just like slap my vocals on top. So like he would do like, the basic framework, not basic, very like worked out framework for everything. And then
yeah.
like everybody else would just like come in and like add their touches. Maybe drums would come in, add fills and like a little bit more sophisticated beats there. Sometimes Paul, like our drummer and his brother, they would like just work on something together, and Raoul would add his bass, and as I said, like I would add like my vocals just on top of the finished instrumental song. And with this album, it was very different, just because um, yeah, like there were two songs that kind of started that way, but however, I did like end up like just spending more time like talking with
Mm,
Felix, and we like just going back and forth about like maybe what we want to do, like also having more thought out feedback about like the song's directions. And then like after two songs, we like our now producer Leon came in, which he was just like a friend of mine at the time. Just because like we just like wanted to start um just doing production work on the songs, like, backing production kind of stuff. And then we ended up writing together, just because the chemistry ended up like being so good.
mm,
And that was something that was very different. And that also led us to spending more time together in a room, like as a band, or like some members at different times, and like having sessions where like Felix would prep song ideas, or like have half of the song finished, or like have song like blocks of riffs and
mm.
elements, and then we would go to Leon and write together, and also like consider like the structure more, or like vocal parts, or like what we want to do with the production, so we were able to get something that I feel is a little bit more sophisticated and has more of our identity and intention in it.
Awesome. 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 And does Hit It has some kind of theme or a songwriting focus was put on this album?
Excuse me, can you say it again?
Does Hidit has some kind of core theme or some specific focus on the songwriting that you put in this album?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think like the specific focus, like we just wanted to do something that like just pulls from much more influences, I guess, and then like
Mm,
it
mm,
feels much more authentic, and like also feels like more fresh to us.
yeah.
I think that was
Mm,
like the core, yeah, intention behind it, really. So like, yeah, also like just being able to consider a lot of different points from the start, like that was,
mm.
yeah, something that helped a lot.
Great, great, great. And had the pleasure to listen to the album in its entirety, and I had to say, 11 great songs, beautifully written, amazing vocals, and the musicianship is mind-blowing. So, a great work from you guys. And as a band, as a creator, how do you guys feel about the outcome of it?
Yeah, I think, I mean, we're very proud of the album, very happy about it. I mean, we put a lot of work into it, and like as I said, a lot of intention, and I feel like we were just able to fulfill a lot of that, and like also, yeah, that's something we are very proud of. I myself can also say I'm very proud of, yeah, just the vocal performance that I was able to deliver, and just because like now also the way it's being like picked up on, or like people are feeling about it, people are like in a way saying the things that you had in
Mm,
your head, 1.5, 2 years back, where you were like, yeah, I wanted to feel that way. And then people are commenting and they're like, yeah, this album made me feel that way. So you're like, okay, cool. Like it
mm,
feels like the plan you had is like working and manifesting in the real world, which is something that is very satisfying to see. So yeah, we're like considering only our opinion, we're happy about it. Obviously, there's some stuff I would like to like do differently in the future, I guess,
mm,
myself. But yeah, also like the way the public picked up on it, it's cool to see
mm,
and yeah, very fulfilling.
Great. Great, great, great. And quite some music videos has been come out in the last 1 year, single after single from this album. So, would you like to tell me a little bit on the work behind this music videos and the making of it?
Yeah, so with this album, I also like took on the duties of like creative director,
Mm,
some would call it. So I had a lot of input already, like for the music videos or a lot of ideas, just because I was also responsible for like the visual identity of the
mm,
band and the concepting that and like making sure that it works throughout like this whole album
mm,
campaign. And yeah, we really just wanted to do something that feels like more lively, like establish something where you have a world that is attached to this band, just because I personally feel like in terms of aesthetics, there are a lot of worlds with other artists where they're picking up on stuff that is around that is feeling stale in a way. And I like
mm,
really wanted to go back and imagine like, okay, how can we do something that feels lively and fun and organic
mm.
and like fresh and like where you as the viewer get a sense of this band comes from this place,
Yeah.
which maybe not even exists in the real world, but like
Mm,
it exists in the visuals. So that's why we wanted, yeah, just also to have music videos that always like have some kind of creative twist
yeah.
or just communicate something more about the band. And
Mm,
it didn't just like have the marketing aspect. It's just because like I feel the music and the vibe and the identity of the band are so imaginative that it would feel wrong just to do a normal music video. Like it just doesn't sit right just to do
yeah.
something where we're just performing something. So it always needed like just a little bit of flavor to it to work out and feel congruent with the band's identity, I think.
Great, great, great. And did you guys do something special on September 5th on the day of the release?
Um, no, I don't think so. I don't think we have done
Mm,
anything special
got,
after. Yeah.
got it. And speaking of the touring, like, are there any big plans coming up for the end of the year or early next year?
Yeah, yeah. It's really cool. Like we've got a run with Shields planned in the UK just because
Mm,
we've been booked for two festivals, so it like made sense to plan some shows around that. And we've been there already this year for two shows at Arctangent and one headliner in London, and it has just been great and like just really cool, like good turnaround for us.
yeah,
So cool to see that like people over there are just interested in the band. So that's why we figured, yeah, might as well do that. Or like our booker figured that, honestly, not us
great.
personally.
Yeah, mm,
Yeah, and we also like got approached by novelists to join
yeah,
their Europe run in April, which is yeah, I think a dream tour, just because like they are doing
mm,
something that is really cool. And
yeah,
TSS, the other band on the bill, is also like super fresh. So like being able to like have that be your first Europe tour, which is ultimately it is our first Europe tour. That's something that's really exciting and just cool to have that. Yeah.
amazing, amazing. And with your debut album out now, what's the next plan? And are you guys going to hit the studio soon, or you guys going to wait for some time and get back to the studio? So, what's the plan?
I mean, for now, we're just like trying to take care of all the opportunities that are in front of us, just because
Mhm,
like when you grow so quickly as we have done, it's we have to adjust really. We like really want to lock down our live game, like we're rehearsing more and just like want to keep rehearsing more
mhm,
and really focus. And so just because like playing live as a band is such an important aspect, and we don't want to like let people down where
mhm,
the music sounds so good in recording, but like we can't deliver that, which is a hard thing to do in a live context. So like we really just like want to focus a lot of energy there. Obviously, at a certain point, we want to go back to writing, and we have like just like time scheduled to like do, not maybe like write something proper, but um just like check the vibes and like see where this is going.
Mm.
Just because like after something that is so thought out, like a hit it, I think it would make sense to, check in and see like where the creative energy is at, and like where we want to head, and just like do stuff, just
Yeah,
because I don't think there's a it doesn't feel like there's a natural progression there. We just have to figure it out, like where we want to go now.
gotcha, gotcha, awesome. And would you like to share a few highlight moments for the band?
Yeah, I think that's something Felix mentioned in another interview recently. I think a highlight moment really was just like being able to realize this album. It sounds so cliche, but like in a way, everything that happened after that was, yeah, was just because of just doing and writing the album. And like that's something that was really special to us, like realizing that. And another like smaller highlight, not smaller, was big, was playing Euroblast Festival, which is a festival in Cologne, which is a like prog oriented festival. And we had a slot at the end of the day, really really late, like 11:30 or something like that, in a
Mm.
smaller room there. And the room was packed, and people were just like on top of each other, going
Yeah,
crazy from like the first note. So that was a sight to behold. And yeah, we haven't had a show that crazy yet. So that was super, super awesome.
fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing, Alex. And I, or do you guys feel like you are living the dream, or do you think there's more to achieve in the coming years? Mm.
I think no, I think nobody of us is really living the dream. Just I mean, the reality is that this takes a lot of work to realize, and it takes a lot of stuff out of your life. And of course, like when you start out, you have like projected dreams,
Mm.
of like, yeah, I want to be at that point, or maybe do this tour, or like if I hit this number, or like if I have a successful album release, whatever that may be, and people listen to my music, then like that's what I want, that's what I'm dreaming of. However, like
Mm.
like you are not dreaming of that because you're aware of the emotional reality, like what that actually
Mm.
does to you. That's something like you gain with experience, where you actually have that, right? So I think a big part of like doing that, and also like living in general, is like doing stuff like with maybe just some motivations, and then like when you realize it, actually knowing, okay, is this motivation, like is the thing that I'm getting out of it, is that actually what I wanted? Because like I think most of the time with our motivations, it's not like that, which is not a
Mm.
negative thing. It's just the way it is. But like obviously, like if you want to feel fulfilled, let's say, and with an album, and like you drop it, then the album is out, you're like, okay, I have the stuff, but I still feel like the same person. So like that didn't do it, I guess. And I guess some people,
Mm.
end up like just grinding that out and maybe pursuing that. But like for us, it's just a question of like on an individual level, just doing this and figuring out, I guess, the combination, or like the equation to life that just feels good. And as I said, I think that's a basic part of life, and just like
Yeah.
pursuing your endeavors. And also like there's the economic part of this, where like it's not getting easier. Yes, we're getting these opportunities, but like we have to still figure out, like we still have to work our jobs, try to balance the band, and
Mm.
just working other stuff, and like social
Mm.
life or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like right now the reality that we're living is not much more glamorous than, like, let's say, my life 2 years before. I would even argue that my life 2 years before was much more chill and enjoyable in a way, just because like I
Gotcha.
didn't have so much stuff that was stressing me out.
Yeah, I know. I know. Great, great, great. And speaking on the band, like, are you guys want to keep the band in this direction, or do you think there's more experimentation towards the band's music in the coming years?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's just hard to say that, just because I think your influences and like the point where you're at in life, and what you feel, what you want to do, can like change so quickly. And so it's hard to anticipate, really. I don't know like
Mm.
what the Alex in 4 years will be inspired by. And I can't say that for like every other part of the band, like member of the band, right? However, I do feel that like this experimental aspect of the band will probably always be a part of it. However, I can't say how it will be expressed. I think that's something that
Mm.
we will just see in the future, just because, like, yeah, also like from outside, like, if people say like, yeah, that's the band that does metal with jazz, maybe one day we won't even do jazzy stuff anymore, but like different stuff that is still weird, but you
Yeah,
think it doesn't fit the band that you know Vianova as, but like I think as long as it reflects where we're at the point in time, and as long as it's authentic and playful, I think then it will be Vianova.
great, 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 great. And Alex, finally, any message that you have for the fans around the world?
Um, yeah, I mean it's hard. Oh yeah, okay. I have one concrete message. Don't listen to AI music. Um,
Absolutely.
that's something that like recently there are some bands that have popped off on TikTok. It's not even I can't call it a band just because it's one person like just
Yeah.
uploading
Mhm.
AI generated music, like posing as a band, and like that shit is horrible.
Yeah, I know.
For so many different reasons. And there are like some people that are just like saying, yeah, but like if I just listen to, I just still listen to normal bands, or like I can't go to concerts of AI bands, like it's like those models they work off like scraping data and collecting that
Yeah.
off like existing bands, so like basically they're stealing, and it's not like they're
Mm.
getting inspired like an artist just because like that
Yeah.
model works like differently. They're literally taking it and like basing their stuff off it through algorithms, which I think is not really ethical, just because like also the artists are not getting compensated because they're just like doing it, and there's also like this whole law thing surrounding it right now
Yeah.
where like they're trying to figure that out. And also like if you listen to like an album a day of an AI band, maybe to you it won't matter, but like if a million people do it, that's like so much like collectively so much time
Yeah.
that goes into that is basically like just taken away from proper bands. So yeah, I think it's just a
That's true.
yeah, just a bad thing.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
and it
Yeah.
has consequences for like the artists you love. Like everybody, like if you love music, like it's yeah, you're just like shitting on real bands, really.
It's true. So true. Awesome. Yeah. And Alex, I want to thank you so much for giving me this wonderful interview today. Real
Yeah,
pleasure to
thank you.
have you, and thank you so much for all the amazing music that you guys been giving us to the metal fraternity around the world. And I wish you guys all the best, and I'm really hoping to see you guys on the road real soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having
Thanks,
me.
Alex.
Have a great day.
My pleasure.
See
You
you.
too. Take care. Bye bye.